Welcome to Sunil Maths tutorial. In this video, we learn the detailed proof of properties of Euler-Totient function. Let us see the properties first. The Euler-Totient function has the following properties. The first one, pi of p power alpha is equals to p power alpha minus 1, where p is a prime number and alpha greater than or equals to 1. And the second property, pi of mn is equals to pi of m into pi of n into d divided by pi of d, where d is equals to GCD, greatest common divisor of m comma n. D is nothing but greatest common divisor of m comma n. Let us see the third property, pi of mn is equals to pi of m into pi of n if m comma n is equals to 1. And fourth property, if A divides B, then pi of A divides pi of B. And fifth property, if pi of n is even, pi of n is even for all n greater than or equals to 3. Moreover, if n has r distinct odd prime factors, the number small n has small r distinct odd prime factors, then 2 power r divides pi of n. We prove all these 5 properties in detail. Let us see the first property, proof of the first property. We know that by the product formula for pi of n is equals to small n into product p divides n 1 minus 1 by p. Let it be equation number 1. This is from product formula for pi of n. If you, in the previous video, we prove this product formula. We explain the proof of the product formula in 2 ways. Please watch that video. Pi of n is equals to n into product p divides n into 1 minus 1 by p. Now substitute n is equals to p power alpha. In equation 1, substitute n is equals to p power alpha, where p is a prime number and alpha greater than or equal. By substituting n is equals to p power alpha in equation 1, we get this. Pi of p power alpha is equals to p power alpha into product p divides p power alpha into 1 minus 1 by p. Yes, product p divides p power alpha means there is only one factor, that is, so you get p power alpha into 1 minus 1 by p. P power alpha into 1, you get p power alpha. P power alpha into minus 1 by p minus p power alpha by p. Simply you get p power alpha minus p power alpha minus 1. Therefore, pi of p power alpha is equals to p power alpha minus p power alpha minus 1, where p is a prime number and alpha greater than or equals to 1. Let us see the second property. Pi of mn is equals to pi of m into pi of n into d divided by pi of d, where d is GCD of m comma n. We know that again by using product formula. By using product formula, we know that pi of n is equals to small n into product p divides n 1 minus 1 by p. So let us shift this n to left side. Shift this n to left side. You get equation 1 again here. Pi of n by n is equals to product p divides n 1 minus 1 by p. Similarly for the number m, pi of m is equals to please write small m here, pi of m is equals to m into product p divides m 1 minus 1 by p. Put m here, there is m. Pi of m is equals to m into product p divides m 1 minus 1 by p. By shifting this m to left side, you get this step. Pi of m divided by m is equals to product p divides m 1 minus 1 by p, where both m comma n greater than or equals to 1. Let it be equation 1 and equation 2. Now define d is equals to GCD of m comma n. D is equals to GCD, greatest common divisor of m comma n. And also we know that if p is a prime number and p divides mn, then either p divides m or p divides n whenever p is a prime number. Let us continue. Yes, we know that the prime numbers which divide both mn, the prime number which divides both mn also divides GCD of m comma n. If there is a prime p, that divides m, that divides n, then automatically that p divides gcd of m comma n, gcd of m comma n. By using that fact, this can be written phi of mn is equals to small mn into product p divides mn 1 minus 1 by p. Again, this equation is obtained by using product formula, of Euler function. Phi of mn is equals to mn product p divides mn 1 minus 1 by p, where this division runs over the divisors of mn, right? Let us shift this mn into left side. You get this equation. Pi of mn divided by mn is equals to product p divides mn 1 minus 1 by p. The product which is in the right side can be written like this. Product p divides m 1 minus 1 by p, product p divides n 1 minus 1 by p, divided by product p divides mn. I mean, this represents gcd of mn. Product p divides gcd of mn 1 minus 1 by p. This is very, very important relation. Remember this relation. Product p divides mn 1 minus 1 by p can be written as product p divides m 1 minus 1 by p, product p divides n 1 minus 1 by p, divided by product p divides gcd of m comma n 1 minus 1 by p. Now using equation 1 comma 2 in equation 3 we get. Already in equation 1 and equation 2 we have here, from equation 1 this term and this term can be replaced by, the first term can be replaced by pi of m by m, and the second term can be replaced by pi of n by n, that is the fact. Using equations 1 comma 2 in equation 3 we get this result. Pi of mn by mn is equals to pi of m by m into pi of n by n divided by pi of d by d, where d is nothing but gcd of m comma n. D is nothing but gcd of m comma n. Now rearranging the terms in RHS, you get this step: pi of m, pi of n divided by mn into d divided by pi of d, mn get cancelled on both the sides. Finally you get this step: pi of mn is equals to pi of n into d divided by pi of d, where d is equals to gcd of m comma n, That's it. That is the second property. Let us go to the third one. What is the third property is defined like this: pi of mn is equals to pi of m into pi of n if m comma n is equals to 1. From the second property we have pi of mn is equals to pi of m into pi of n into d divided by pi of d, where d is equals to gcd of m comma n, where small d is equals to gcd of m comma n. Now put d is equals to 1. It means gcd of m comma n is equals to 1. If the value of d is equals to 1, then pi of d is equals to pi of 1. We know that pi of 1 is equals to 1. If pi of 1 is equals to 1, then d divided by pi of d becomes 1, simply because d is 1, pi of d is also 1. So you get 1 by 1 is equals to 1. Using this relation in the above one, we get pi of mn is equals to pi of m into pi of n. Here you observe that d divided by pi of d, and this value is equivalent to 1. Therefore, finally you get pi of mn is equals to pi of m into pi of n. This case happens only if gcd of m comma n is equals to 1. It means the value of d is equivalent to 1. Let us go for fourth property. The fourth property is stated like this: a divides b implies pi of a divides pi of b. A divides b implies pi of a divides pi of b. Let us take a divides b. We know that 2 divides 6. So it means 6 is equals to 2 into 3. 6 is equals to 2 into 3. It is known values. In a similar manner, here a divides b. So b can be written as ac. Where that c lies between 1 and b. If c is equals to b, what happens? If c is equals to b, they are equivalent to one another, then automatically a is equals to 1. If a is equals to 1, then pi of a is also equivalent to 1, because pi of a is equals to pi of 1. Pi of 1 is equals to 1. Excuse me. If a is equals to 1, then pi of a is equals to 1. Pi of a is equals to 1 means 1 is divisor of every number. So 1 divides pi of b. 1 divides pi of b. It means pi of a divides pi of b. If c is equals to b, then automatically pi of a divides pi of b. That's it. Assume that c less than b. Assume that c less than b. If c less than b, then what happens? If c less, let us take c less than b. Since b is equals to ac, b is equals to ac, then pi of b can be written as pi of ac. Pi of b is nothing but pi of ac. By using case number 2, pi of ac is equals to pi of a, pi of c into d divided by pi of d. This is from case 2. Pi of ac is equals to pi of ac is equals to pi of a, pi of c into d divided by pi of d, where d is greatest common divisor, GCD of a comma c. Suppose the GCD is 1. Suppose that d is equals to 1. Then you get pi of b is equals to pi of a into pi of c. Obviously, pi of a is divides pi of b. Pi of a divides pi of b. Because pi of b is product of pi of a and pi of c. Now we prove our result by using mathematical induction on b. For b is equals to 1, the result very trivially holds the result. If you take b is equals to 1, then automatically pi of b is equals to 1. So pi of a divides pi of b. Suppose that the given statement holds for all integers less than b. According to mathematical induction, we assume that condition. Suppose that the given statement is true or holds for all integers less than b, and c is less than b. Already we take that value, c is less than b. So the result holds for c. The result holds for c. Remember that. Now d is equals to c. It means d is GCD, greatest common divisor of a and c. Greatest common divisor of a comma c. It means d divides c. D divides c. Then c can be written as qd. Then pi of c can be written as q into pi of d. In this case, pi of c divides pi of d. Pi of c divides pi of d. Again we know that pi of b is equals to pi of a, pi of c into d divided by pi of d. Now what is pi of c? Pi of c is equals to q into pi of d. Q into pi of d. We substitute that value. Here it is. Pi of c is equals to q into pi of d. If you substitute that value here, pi of c is equals to q into pi of d. Then these two terms get cancelled completely. So we get pi of a into qd. Let it be some constant k. Qd is equals to k. So k into pi of a. Now you observe that pi of b is equals to k into pi of a, where k is equals to q into d. It is again trivially this pi of a divides pi of b. Pi of a divides pi of b. Therefore, if a divides b, then pi of a divides pi of b. This property is very trivial property, because of whenever the 2 divides 4, automatically pi of 2 divides pi of 4. If 2 divides 6, pi of 2 divides pi of 6. 3 divides 9, pi of 3 divides pi of 9. You observe that. So this is very trivial property, but you observe that the proof is little bit. So by practicing, get more ways of this property. Please go for a fifth property. The fifth property is stated like this: pi of n is pi of n is even for all n greater than or equals to 3. Moreover, if n has r distinct odd prime factors, then 2 power r divides pi of n. Right? First, we assume that n is a power of 2. We prove this case in 2 parts. First, we assume that n is a power of 2. N is a power of 2. So take n is equals to 2 power k and k greater than or equals to 2. We assume that n is a power of 2. So take n is equals to 2 power k and k is equals to greater than or equal to 2. We know that by using first property, pi of p power alpha is equals to p power alpha minus 1, where p is a prime number and alpha greater than or equals to 1. Using this relation for n is equals to 2 power k, what happens? Pi of 2 power k is equals to 2 power k minus 2 power k minus 1. We substitute here. 2 power k minus 2 power k minus 1. By making 2 power k common, you get 1 minus 1 by 2. This is nothing but 2 power k divided by 2. This is nothing but 2 power k minus 1. Obviously, 2 power k minus 1 is always an even number. Is always an even number. 2 power k minus 1, you can verify that 2 power k minus 1 is always an even number. Therefore, pi of 2 power k is an even number. If pi of 2 power k is an even number, what is 2 power k? N. So pi of n is an even number. Pi of n is an even number. Right. This is the first part. We assume that here n is a power of 2. N is a power of 2. Let us go for suppose n is not a power of 2. Right. That's the part. Suppose n does not happen to be a power of 2. It means n is not a power of 2. N is not a power of 2. Suppose that n does not happen to be a power of 2. Then it is divisible by an odd prime number. If n is not a n does not happen to be a power of 2, means n is not a power of 2, not a power of 2, then clearly there is an odd prime that divides n. There is an odd prime number that divides n. So it is divisible by an odd prime number. This n is divisible by an odd prime number. Now pi of n is equals to, again by using product formula, pi of n is equals to n into product p divides n 1 minus 1 by p. This can be written as n into product p divides n p minus 1 by p, Again this product can be split like this. Product p divides n p minus 1 divided by product p divides n by p. Again let us rearrange the terms. N divided by product p divides n, I mean this term and denominator term. N divided by product p divides n into p, product p divides n p minus 1. Let it be some constant c of n. Product p divides n p minus 1. You observe that this term is always even number. Product p divides n p minus 1 is always an even number because p is an odd prime. We assume that n is not equals to 2 power k. It means n has an odd prime number. If suppose p is an odd prime number, then p minus 1 is even. Let us see one example. P is equals to 3. It is an odd prime number. P minus 1 is equals to 2, an even number. Let us take again. P is equals to 5. P is equals to 5 is an odd prime number. P minus 1 is equals to 4. It is an even number. So this term is nothing but a number into even number. Product p minus 1 is even. It means pi of n is equals to c of n into even number. So any element, if it is multiplied by an even number, then you get an even number. Any number that is multiplied by an even number, you get an even number. For example, 5 into 2, you get 10. 10 is an even number. 5 into 4, you get 20, again an even number. Like that. So even number into something, some number, it is again even number. Therefore, pi of n is even number for all n greater than or equals to 3. Now let us go for the further statement. Assume that for each odd prime p, remember that each odd prime p contributes a factor 2 to the product p power p divides n, into p minus 1. If n has r distinct, this is the fact, each odd prime p contributes a factor 2 to the product p divides n p minus 1. You can check out with example. Suppose n is equals to 5. Each odd prime p that contributes a factor 2 to the product p divides n. Take any other than prime number, 12. So very clearly the prime number 3 divides 12. So 3 divides 12 means 12 by 3, you get 4. Clearly there is a factor 2. Clearly there is a factor 2, and also you get 3 minus 1 is an even number, So each odd prime p contributes a factor 2 to the product p divides n p minus 1. Now in our statement n has small r distinct odd prime factors. We already learned that for each prime there is a 2. Here we have smaller distinct odd primes. So we have 2 power r factors. Therefore, pi of n can be written as C of n into 2 power r. It means pi of n is a multiple of 2 power r. Therefore, 2 power r divides pi of n. Hence, we conclude that pi of n is even for all n greater than or equals to 3. Moreover, if n has r distinct odd prime factors, then 2 power r divides pi of n. This completes the proof of the properties of Euler-Totian function, which are very, very important properties. Keep learning. Wish you all the best.